Hi friends, good afternoon. My name is Sai Venkatesh and I am going to give some information about aerated autoclave concrete. First of all, we will be going through all these contents like history, manufacturing process, advantages, comparisons and codes and specifications. Going to the history. It was invented by a Sweden architect in 1920, whereas AAC got many names like ALC, ACC, porous concrete or blue concrete. Whereas in 1940, Siporex started production under trademark of Yotan. Whereas coming to the present, nearly 40% of the UV constructions and 60% of the German constructions were completely on AAC. So until and unless up to late 1990s, it haven't entered US. I don't know why. Almost most of the European countries and south part of the European countries were also using AAC. Okay, going to the manufacturing process. This was having raw materials like quartz sand, limestone, gypsum, and cement and water, where they were sent in proper proportions in such a way that the mixing was done with addition of an aluminium, which decides the density of the AAC block. In most of in countries like India and China, they started using 50 to 65% of fly ash instead of cement. The reaction takes place over here is aluminum reacts with calcium hydroxide, which produce hydrogen bubbles, where the aluminum is a reason for that production of hydrogen bubbles, which makes this material much more lighter. When this hydrogen bubbles is formed, it disperses into the air and the air gets into this mixture. It is something like when you add some baking soda to your buttermilk while making a muffin batter. Okay. Later on, after that mixing was done, it was poured into casting molds, and they were let it dry for some time, and they were cut it into different sizes and shapes. They were baked at high pressures. All this process doesn't take a few days or few weeks. It takes within just a little bit, something like hours, just hours, not like brick or CMU. CMU also doesn't take much time, okay? But going to the next picture is advantages. This is not only lighter, much more lighter than the most of the conventional masonry we are going to use, and it has got a great acoustic feature also, varying upon the width, thickness we are going to use. The acoustic, it has a great acoustic feature even. As we said before, it can be cut into different sizes. The larger the size is, the faster the construction. So the faster is the construction, the more advantages we can make use of the construction material. So whereas not only the faster, it also reduces the weight of the total structure. So we can reduce 27% of the steel and 20% of cement also. Whereas the larger blocks helps us to reduce the joints to one-third of the joints, so less amount of mortar, so 66% of mortar can be saved. Due to this, we can reduce a lot of labor costs also, and it takes a less amount of transportation cost due to less weight and all those stuff. Whereas it is thermally efficient because of its porous nature. And coming to the economical part, all these are directly linked or interlinked with each other. Whereas while the manufacturing process, we can save money and energy from 20 to 50% when compared to CMU or brick manufacture. So, and the product types. Going to the product types. As you said, the different sizes can be produced. Like these different sizes can be used as a wall panels, floors, floor panels, and claddings, whatever it might be. These are quite long, as 20 feet long and 2 feet wide even. So there are generally a less amount of types of blocks. We are going to discuss about two among them. There are standard blocks which are 8 inches high, 6 inches thick, and 24 inches long. Whereas core blocks, which are known as O blocks, which are having a 4 inches dia, which gives provision for the rebar to be placed. These are used for reinforced AAC design. Where at the bottom we are seeing the bond beam and plaster connection. where they have used the U block for the lintel or whatever maybe the beam to be constructed, where the hole was drilled at the U block in such a way that it can be done at site rather than keeping a joint for the brick or taking much harder strength to break the CMU block. AAC is very easy to make holes and adjust the sizes while constructing. And going to the comparison, one of the modular bricks are 24 inches long, 24 inches tall, and those are called as jumbo blocks. So they can be of various sizes like 4 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches and 12 inches. While coming to the density, it's much more lighter than any of the other type. I didn't mention with stone because stone is way far than AAC. So these were nearby AAC, and it is much more light than it can float on water even. So and coming to the compressive strength, even though it doesn't give a good compressive strength, but it is not like it is very low in compressive strength. It gives around 60 to 70% of when compared to a brick or a concrete masonry. So due to this, all the restrictions, they have been restricted to a particular seismic category buildings of A, B and C only. And even then in B and C there are some limitations for this particular type and that particular type. Only this design should be done with this AAC or something like that. Whereas modulus of elasticity ranges from 190 to 360. So the design is similar to the strength design of concrete and brick. But it varies with specified compressive strength, and shear will be around 8 to 22 psi for this AAC blocks. So a complete house can be built with AAC panels or AAC blocks. See, when going to the roof panels, floor panels, rounded blocks, wall panels, partition panels, lintels and cladding panels, there are many houses already built and they have been using. Rather than the conventional type of wood also can be used, but this is much more cheaper and eco-friendly also. And these products are also recyclable. These are some of the construction as we discussed. There, the roof panels are 20 feet long and 2 feet wide, which are used from beam to beam. And this is a film studio where the interiors were built with AAC. You can imagine, see, the glass was supporting the whole partition wall. You can estimate, you can think how much weight it is going to be. It doesn't weigh much. So this was one of the hotel in Mexico which was built with AAC, and that is a beautiful interiors which are made with AAC blocks. It also gives a great acoustic, so it can be used in theaters and all those stuff, as Hannah has mentioned. So these are the codes and specifications, which various strength criteria and testing methods and analysis and design can be done by referring these codes, all this stuff. And that's all for today. Thanks you. And we'll open for questions.
Questions? Come on, Kara. Kara.
I don't have any. Do I have a question?
Were you impressed as you thought you were going to be?
I was actually. That was pretty cool.
I was very impressed.
So,
why are we using this in America?
Yeah.
So what is
Well, I think it's it's been slow. It's in the code now, which is great.
Yes.
It's been in the masonry code now for 2 cycles. It was in the previous code, but now it has its own big section in the code. So it's getting there. Again, it's used a lot. I think it's going to be used a lot for replacement of finished materials, facades. Where brick might be used or other heavier materials. I think it's still going to be a while before we see it in heavy structural use. That's mainly because we have so many other industries that are competing, like light metal studs, core.
I would like to add one more point for
Go ahead.
spots, that is the production. There is less than less number of producers or manufacturers of AAC, which increases the cost of AAC when compared to brick or wood. So they are less preferred when the cost is less. I mean more.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main reasons.
Yeah.
And whatever I said also adds to that.
Do you know what it's, I mean, as far
Well,
as...
see, the process to make it is, I mean, he talked about it, but he went pretty fast, is you do have to heat it, but not as much, not a high temperature, but for a longer period of time, right? The autoclave.
Yeah, but some, yeah.
And that's probably the biggest downfall, is having the equipment to do the autoclaving of the material. So I think that's where we're kind of behind, whereas, and you know, to be honest, we've got lots of raw material to build concrete and block and brick in this country. Lots. I mean, so that's really the competition right there. And so, you know, I think that's probably, and whereas the Northern European countries, where it's been around for almost 100 years now, they do not have vast resources of ground resources like we have to do clay. You know, they've got to bring stuff in. So you know, they can produce the cement, they can produce the AAC at a cost reasonable to them, because they would have had to import a lot of stuff anyway if they were using other materials. So, anyway. Okay. Danny.